Yes. So basically, what happens here is that if anyone wants to get liberated, men are in a better position than women. But that doesn't mean that a woman cannot get liberated. She can. In the very life, she can. But the work is more for a woman than a man by nature. So now, when we say woman and man, it is more about the indriya rather than the physical body. So the basic problem what we create for ourselves is that we take it as an absolute existence of a female as a female and a male as a male. It is not like that. It is the itti indriya and purisa indriya what we are talking about. It is not about the physical body. So in the mind, then meaning to say in the chitta, each chitta has feminine and masculine, and depending upon that the body gets developed. It's not based upon anything else. So mano pubbangama dhamma, that is the reason he uses that. Mano setta manomaya. All these are mind made. What do you mean by mind made? It basically means after chitta, the mano which identifies, it knows how to develop it. So there is no I or you or a female or a male as such. It is the indriya which is what is doing it. So this like a sense object, the feminine has a sense that I am feminine, and the masculine has a sense I am masculine. That sense is what blocks becoming an arhat or something like that. It is not the physical body. When we say a female, unfortunately, we bring the physical body into existence. The physical body is created out of the mental body. It is not the other way around. The mental body is not created out of physical body. It is the physical body which gets created out of mental body. So the Gandhabha, what we are talking about, has Itti Indriya, Purisa Indriya, Jivita Indriya. These are the three Indriyas which are there. If in that Indriya, meaning in that Gandhabha, when the feminine characteristics gets created more than the masculine characteristics, then what happens is the physical body undergoes necessary changes. I'll give an example. Now, in this life, I am a man, but I get the itti indriya, that is the female indriya, taking over the mind, the chitta. But I always start to feel that if I was a woman, it would have been good. If I was a woman, it would have been good. It takes 7 lives to get into the exact female form. It has to go through different stages of development. So the first state of development to become a female is that from a male, you need to have the characteristics of a female. In the next life, I am having the male body, but lot of emotional upsurge like a female. My first life after deciding that I need to be a female. Then after that, then the next life, not only that, I will have very thin hairs on the body, whereas a male has a thick hairs. I have a very thin hair and I will have very less mustache, and the voice seems like a semi male and a female. That's my second life. And in the third life, I will be walking and talking like a female, but yet having a male feature. In the fourth life, that is, if I keep on increasing my feminine interest, in the fourth life, I will be having a male genital but impotent. Okay, so that's the fourth life. And the fifth life, I will have a male and a female genital together, which is called as transgender. That's my fifth life. And in the sixth life, I will slowly develop the vagina instead of the penis, or the instead of the testicles. So the testicle region is the one where the vagina gets developed, and the penis becomes very small. So that is how the female body gets formed. So in the sixth life, I will have ability to conceive. That means the uterus is formed, but it is not fully developed. So I will have breast, I will have every other feature, but then it is incapable unless operated or done something out of it. And in the seventh life, I will be a fully born female. So it takes 7 lives for me to transform from a male body to a female body, because of the Itti Indriya getting more and more prominent over the Purisa Indriya. The Jivita Indriya remaining the same, the Rupa starts to change. That is what is the Rupa, what we are talking. When we say Rupa Rupa, Shabda Rupa, Gandha Rupa, Rasa Rupa, Pottabha Rupa, and Dhamma Rupa, it's what is that when Buddha talks about Atita, Anagata, Pachuppanna, and all that, this includes these portions as well. So when I sit for meditation, when I'm doing meditation on the Rupa, if I'm taking space, I need to look at all of this. That is Atita, Anagata, Pachuppanna, then Ularika, Sukuma. What we're talking now is the Sukuma, not the Ularika, not the gross. We're talking subtle. Because it has 3 indriyas which cannot be seen. You can't see an indriya. You can see a physical body called as a woman, but you will never see the indriya. The indriya has the characteristics. The itti indriya has a characteristic. It's not the person having characteristics. The indriya has a characteristics. The purisa indriya has a characteristic. So if I were to wish become a female, being a male, it would take 7 lives to get into it, provided I have necessary characteristics to become a human. If not, then animal, preta, all that, and then ultimately end up in being a female body in different births. So I need to be careful in what I'm wishing for. So some people feel that they are male in a female body. Some people feel they are female in male body. This is called as perversion. So the mind, chitta, has a perverted nature, that it is not happy with what it has. So now it proposes that I need to be that becoming bhava. Then the jati. So on the gandhabba, the physical kabalinka ahara starts to get developed while in the womb. So then, instead of having a male reproductory system, it changes into a semi male female system. And when the baby is out, the doctor is shocked and the parents are shocked, because now what to do with that? It's a living organism. You can't kill it, you can't do anything about it. But that's what the chitta did. So out of the 4 kaya, Kammajakaya, Tujakaya, Chittajakaya, Kabalinka, or Aharajakaya, where to take. The food doesn't have a problem, but the Kamma has a problem. then the chitta has a problem. So only Utu, it chooses, it looks at the right condition. What's the right condition for it to come up? And hence turns itself into a female. Now, if it turns into a female, the Iti Indriya takes over. When the Iti Indriya takes over, it has feminine characteristics. It doesn't have masculine characteristics. So now this body, or this mind, chitta, has to develop the male characteristics, not the body I'm talking about, male characteristics. So when it works out on the male characteristics, that is, everyone has a feminine and masculine. Everyone has estrogen and then the testosterone. So in a female, if the testosterone development is more, then she gets hairs and other things on the body. If a male has more estrogen, then the person gets a fewer hairs on the body. That's a minimum we can see out of these two indriyas. Or if we take it in a gross way, if we take it in a subtle way, each of the decision making is based upon this indriya, the Purisa Indriya or the Itti Indriya. Hope I was able to provide clarity on this.
Yes, very much. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So this is how the 7 stages of development is. Okay. Shall we begin? Yes, Sachin.
Is that 7 stages is written somewhere or
7 stages is there in one of the I don't remember the sutta, but there is a Buddha explains. I can share you that how Buddha, each one of those formations, he says how when the Gandhabba enters into the womb and how it would have entered. So it talks about 7 stages of development: jati, sanjati, ukkanti.
that I know, but I was
No,
talking about
in that this is there, but it is not like how each one of these gender changing happening. That you have to read through it.
And one thing is that was you also explained that some arhant become women instantly, right? And even I have heard that uh, in uh, in West Bengal we have this tradition, right? In that tradition, Paramhans he also Ramakrishna Paramhans. Actually, it took 1 month. He became woman, and then the total development body became woman because she was worshipping Krishna as a Radha, and then it took another 1 or 2 months to get back to man. So that is technically possible, right?
That is technically possible because the chitta job is to provide you the experience. Meaning, when we say consciousness, 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 what are we really talking about? It is the chitta. The chitta has colors. Whatever the color comes up on the chitta, it displays that. So if let us say raga is coming on the chitta, you are whatever you are, whatever I'm talking about, will show the characteristic of raga. If the chitta has the color of the dvesha, then the other person, when we say a person, it is the chitta, other chitta can see that this person is flared up because there's no person, it is only the chitta. So the paramartha, if we were to take, it is rupa, chitta, chetasika, nibbana. So what we are really talking about is only the chitta and the chetasika. What are the contents in the chitta? The contents in the chitta is saragam va chittam saragam chittam pajanati, or sadosam va chittam sadosam chittam pajanati. So when I say itti indriya, that has come into the chitta, whatever we are calling as Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, you leave the name aside. It is just on the chitta. So if the chitta is bright, as in the case of Ramakrishna, the physical body gets developed. Why? Because the indriya changes. From the purisa indriya, it has become itti indriya. So when the itti indriya comes into existence, the feminine body has to get developed. So when we see a person, we are only seeing purisa indriya and itti indriya. You're not talking about, you're not seeing any woman or a man there. We are just notifying it. How do we notify it? In 5. Assa, Vedana, then Sanya, Ketana, Manasikara. Now when I see you, Sachin, and when I see myself here, and I see Anusha, in the chitta, that is, in the light of consciousness, there arises a perversion, okay, of the indriya as though it is real. Clear? Now what if my chitta is clean? Now I wish to be a female. I can do the 7 lives thing in 1 month or even lesser. And again take 7 lives to go back to male. Simple. Why? It is a play of indriya. Just like Chakku indriya, Sota indriya, Ghana indriya, Jiva indriya, Kaya indriya, Mano indriya, Itti indriya, Purisa indriya, Jivit indriya. These are the indriyas. So there are 9 indriyas you can play around with. As chitta, you as chitta can play around with 9 indriyas. It's very simple. Nothing extraordinary over there.
So you mean to say Itti and Purusa, there are 2 indriya in me.
Yes, absolutely. In every one of us.
Okay, I thought it is changing. One indriya changing.
No. You have both.
It is less Purus.
No. It is both is there.
Yeah.
Them is there.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
So I will tell you another simple thing, Sachin. Some years ago, maybe around 15, 20 years ago, I think so, or 10 years, more than 10, 12 years ago. What I used to do is, I used to sing in a male and a female voice. I tried this stunt when I went to Sri Lanka. My friend was asking me. So then in the car, I started singing. It was very painful because I have lost touch of that, and it's not possible. I couldn't sing in the way I used to sing earlier. So the Hindi songs, I was able to sing in exactly feminine voice. Now in this, you can see how it works. So the Purisa Indriya goes down and the Itti Indriya comes up. And the Itti Indriya goes down and the Purisa Indriya comes up. So now my voice is a male because the Purisa Indriya is there. It's nothing to do with I am a male. It's got nothing to do with that.
Both are active.
Both are active. It depends on the situation. So when I become emotional, let's say it's a Itti Indriya at work, that comes on the Chitta. Now the Chitta will display that. Because the chitta job is to display whatever it is. That's the reason chitta is pure and bright. Pabhasaram idam chittam. That's the reason he says that. Its job is to just light up whatever that comes. It doesn't care about who you are, what you are, whether you are called Vilas or Sachin or Anusha or this or that or what. Doesn't have any idea. Only Vijnana has that idea. So because it has got corrupted in the 9 stages. So when I am thinking I am Vilas, who is that Vilas? It is the Vijnana. And that has to get into Nirodha. Yes.
Just yesterday someone asked me and I answered it. That he says his personal problem and this and that. He wanted to cry but he is not able to cry. I said crying is good. it will relieve you. But our tradition is crying is woman, right? So even though crying is woman, crying is healthy, isn't it? So heart attack is less to woman. So does that mean what a man who is crying more is developing Indriya?
In a way, yes. In a way, no. In a way, yes, what? Any emotions, can be good emotion, bad emotions, is a feminine character. Any logical thinking, anything in a female or in a male, so called logical thinking, very decision oriented, sticking to the terms, etc., are male oriented. Now, when I say male oriented, not the male body we're talking about, not the female body we're talking about, the decisions, what one takes. The injita, shakingness, is there in female. Why? Because they have that indriya more. What happens if somebody in a female body has male indriya? She will be very decisive. You can't shake her up. And she is very practical. And she knows what has to be done, what shouldn't be done. And you can check that up when they go for shopping. You take a female to a shopping. If the itindriya is more, she will have doubt. Should I buy this? Should I buy that? Then she goes to that shop, this shop, this shop, that shop. It keeps on going around because the emotions take over and creates confusion, chaos. Not that a female is chaos. The indriya's ability to discern is less. Whereas the purisa indriya, it's very
Yeah.
clear. You want something, you have decided on that, just go there, just buy, come back. There's
That
nothing
means
like,
we call it perfect man and perfect woman.
yes,
Ideal man and ideal woman can never meet each other
yes.
because
So,
they cannot tend each other.
yes, like in the case of my wife, she decides what she wants to buy. He goes to the shop, she doesn't look here and there, just picks it up, and she's back. And she asks me, you know how easy for me to shop? I tell her yes, because she has Purisa Indriya. He doesn't have Itti Indriya or for those things. So she is more masculine than feminine. So in my home, if I see, we have three Purisa Indriyas, and hence there is no problem for Dhamma. One male in a female body, let's say, let's put it that way, if we have to take it, but there's no male body and no female body. And that is where the perversion is. We take the body to be true. Body is literally untrue. It is the Gandhabba which is wearing this. There's nothing to do with any person sitting here. No, it's just a Gandhabba. It has no relevance to anything, so it can withdraw. What we are trying to do is to make the Gandhabba withdraw into its original state. The original state is Chitta, not anything else. So from the Vijnana, we learning how to bring back to Manasam, so that it always remains in the withdrawal state of Chitta. Whether it's a female or male, it doesn't matter, because it's ultimately Chitta only. The Chitta has taken a female form. Not a female is born. It has taken a female form. There's a huge difference between born as a female and taking a form of a female. So each one of us have taken the form of a male or a form of a female, which we identify as a gender. So yehi akare hi, yehi linge hi, yehi nimitte hi, yehi uddeshe hi. That is the problem of nama. So first you have to make an akara. Akara means shape. You have to say female of this shape. It is not true. Chitta. First problem. Linga, gender, masculine gender, feminine gender, neutral gender. Which gender? Right? Again, gender. Third one. Nimitta. So when I observe a woman, I feel that, oh, if she's a woman, she will have a hairs at least till backside, on the head, on the hairs, and no mustache, no beard, development of breast, this, that, all of that, and the pelvic region, etc., is what I have created a nimitta. It's totally fabricated. The Gandhabba has taken the form. It's not she has taken a form. What we call as a manasika sharira or mano is what takes this form. Chitta, mano, manasam, hadayam, like that. If you take the mano, Buddha says mano pubbangama dhamma, mano setta, mano maya. Setta is shrestha, is more auspicious. Is that mind that has taken this form. There is no female and there is no male either. Just a play of indriya. 9 indriyas they play. Your job is not to get into that play. That is your job, in the sense the chitta's job is not to get into the play. If it gets into the play, it becomes that. So when I see, I become that. When I hear, I become that. When I taste, I become that. When I touch, I become that. When I think, I become that. When I feel I am a male, I become that. When I feel I am a female, I become that. When I become that, what is that, LGBT, whatever that new one which has come, LGBTQI, I become that.
Rainbow.
Yeah, so there are so many now, right? Now you can't say what it is. All of it, including consider yourself to be a male and a female, to LGBTQI, is a perversion of the mind. It's completely perverted. It is completely fabricated. It's not true. Nobody is a male, nobody is a female in that sense. Chitta taking as a male feels a male. Chitta taking as a female feels a female. There's a feeling of male and female. Isn't it or not? There's a feeling. The physical body has no idea that it is a female or a male. The Vedana, feeling, the Chitta feels, you know what, I'm a female. What happens in the male body? It starts to feel I'm a female. It starts hating, not realizing that there is no person called as a female or a male. What Buddha says in that sutta is that a female who is born, meaning itti indriya, is born with itti bhava, can never become samma sambuddha. That's correct. Because the chitta is already perverted. You have to go back how many? Meaning you have to create each parami. And some paramis are with only with the Purisa Indriya. That is impossible. So it is not. That doesn't mean that the Itti Indriya born person cannot become an Arhat. He can. He can end the journey. Ending journey anybody can do. It is the Chitta which is ending the journey anyway. It is not a person who is ending the journey.
It is not explained the difference between Arhat and Buddha.
Arhat and
Buddha.
It is there, no? In the, if you
The
take the,
Charana Dhamma and all you are talking about that.
it's there. It's very much there. Why it is not there? In the Bodhipakya Dhamma itself, it is there. Then what we can say, the one you have asked, right? That is there in the MN1. Majjhima Nikaya 1. Mula Pariyaya Sutta. Actually, we should start from there. This, whatever we are discussing, right? We should have started from MN1. Because Buddha teaching is MN1. Mula Pariyaya Sutta. Not all that we are doing. If we were to take it, it is Manyana. That's a problem. So what is Manyana? Is to consider, is to feel that I am this. That is Manyana. So there are 24 Manyana in a normal person. So he will say, I am made out of Pathavi, I am made out of Apo, I am made out of Tejo, I am made out of Vayu. 4. It's mine. If somebody were to be asked, is this face yours? I'll say, yes, my face. Over. Buddha Dhamma to the dustbin. Okay, then Bhuta. Bhuta is a very nice word to explain become. It has become like this. So I have become like this. So this becomes my mustache. It's not Sachin's or Ashutosh or any males. It is mine. My mustache. My lips. My ear. My face. This is my skin. Bhuta. Then Deva. Like that he goes up. Then after that, if you purify Chitta, start to feel you are actually you are Brahma Prajapati. So then you get into the Prajapati, which is the greatest. And then you start looking at the Mahabrahma. That is you, the Chitta, thinks that it is Brahma. So when it becomes Brahma, it gets the body of a Brahma. This body is gone because the Kandavibhanga can take any form. It has no form. It's formless. It's basically Arupa. So when you're doing an Arupa jhana, you're going back to your basic existence, which is Arupa. And that's the reason jhanas are very good. For what reason? You can go back to your source. How did you arrive? You arrived from Abhasara Brahma realm, where it is written, Aganna Sutta.
The problem is you said it is written there, but when we go and read, we don't find it.
That you experienced when we were in the car, right?
Yeah.
I am reading from the same source like you are studying in the mobile, but what I see and what you see are two different things. It's there. So how much of Dhamma you penetrate, that much you will be able to see. When I open the Sutta, I can see. I can just see everything in once, and that's it. It sticks. Anyway, coming back to this. So we started from Abhasara Brahma realm of existence. But what is Abhasara? It is actually in Sanskrit, if you do it, it becomes Prabhasara. Prabhat is light, sunlight. In the Prabhasara or Abhasara, there is no requirement of sun and moon. Now, when you go down from the Abhasara realm, you require light. And sun and moon get formed. So how far we have dipped down is that we have dipped down to the lowest level now. Human realm is the lowest realm of existence. as far from the top goes, but highest from the bottom goes. So how much should we be scared? All the time. So much we have gone down. It's not about how fair I look, how dark I look, how tall I look, how rich I look, how poor I look, or how big is my home, how big is that or small. That is, leave it. From the top, you have come to the end of the ground, beyond which no ground exists. That means coming to the ground floor itself is impossible. So, any sensible person will not waste his 1 second also in this matter. Shouldn't be. But the chitta is filled with so much of dirt that it takes the plunge. So, when it takes the plunge, the Gandhabba inside takes the shape. Not I take a shape, the Gandhabba takes the shape. And when it takes the shape, Chitta already knows that this is dog, this is an ass, this is an insect, this is this, because it knows everything. There's nothing more to be known in the Chitta. That's the reason he says Vinyana has Vijanati. It knows. It's nothing that you sit and teach it. This is an ass, and this is a camel, and this is a rabbit, and this is a butterfly, this is a moth, and this is like that. Yes, go ahead.
So in this body, depending on the situation, can I say Gandhabba is keep changing?
No, Gandhabba will not change.
Okay. It's dead.
It's like this. On Gandhabba, this is growing. Gandhabba job is to watch, actually. But it doesn't watch, it reacts. Why? Why it reacts? Because Kamma Jakaya. It creates Kamma. Kamma Jakaya throws out Utu Jakaya. That means you are put in a different environments because of the Kamma. Then you have Chitta Jakaya. That Kaya, his job is to light up. Whatever it is there, it lights up. So the Gandhabba, when we say, or in the Vedantic words, if you take, it is Sukshma Sharira or Sukuma in Pali. That one has the exact replica of the nerves. Exact, one-to-one mapping. So when a physical touch is given here, the pain is felt in the Gandhabba, not in the physical body. There's nothing to feel in the physical body. So when they put the anesthesia injection, that portion where the nerves are running is temporarily ceased. But the Gandhabba doesn't feel anything because that physical element is removed. And now you can cut, do whatever you want because it's like a vegetable. So when we do an operation, the Gandhabba doesn't have anything. So that's the reason out of the body experience is the Gandhabba coming out and watching itself, the body. So when they write out of body experiences and all that, which is considered as a soul, basically, is just the Gandhabba. And the Gandhabba can take any form. Any form, that's available based upon the Kamma. Kamma Jakaya, Utu Jakaya, Kara Jakaya, and the Chitta Jakaya. So the Chitta job is to just light up. Just lights up. Abhasaram idam chittam. Now that is from the top, Abhasara realm. We have come down. Come down in the sense we have got so much of degradation. So the minimum we have to work out is to go back to Pabhasara realm. That is you where you don't require sun and moon. So that should be our practice. It's got nothing to do with female, male, or all that. It is all so least in thinking. Yes, if somebody has developed a Purisa Indriya, because when we start at Abhasara realm, there are no sexes. That means there is no Purisa Indriya and the Itti Indriya at all to be called as something. Only when you're coming down and down and down and down and down, then the Indriya gets developed. Otherwise, those two Indriyas are not there. Where it is written, again the same Aganna Sutta. Now, once I have understood, oh, this is a mistake I've done. So when I see someone, I'm seeing it as just a whole, what it is going to do. Going to remove the Purisa Indriya and the Itti Indriya from the Chitta. Because if I have to go up, I shouldn't have this distinction between as female and a male. Because it is Sukuma. I have to remove that. Otherwise it will not. Got the point? Our practice, when we say I'm practicing Rupa Khanda, it is Atita Anagata Pachuppanna, then Ajjatta Bahidda, Olarika Sukuma. Olarika is the six senses, but it is not my senses, it's just the six senses. Plus the three in the Sukuma, 9 senses I have to let go. That's the pain. That's the dukkha of carrying this. They are not mine. There's something which is creating this mess. So when I see it in that way, then I start seeing Patavi as Patavi, Apo as Apo, Vayu as Vayu, Tejo as Tejo, Akasa as Akasa. Now nothing happens to me. Why? Because everything I see is only these 5. What else is there? So, in the Indriya Bhavana Sutta or the Indriya Bhavana is to notice these Indriyas, not yours. So now you bring the Patikula Manasikara, that they are not yours. They have got nothing to do with you. They're just there. They have got nothing to do with you as the Gandhabba. So when Gandhabba takes over, that is in the Titayatana Sutta, if you see it, Vakkantiya Sati Namarupam. So the 5 Mahabhuta, Pancha Mahabhuta, along with the Vinyana, this distorted view has already taken shape. So when Jati, Sanjati, Vakkanti, third stage of the birth. So Jati is based upon the Kamma. Sanjati is to transform what shape it should take. That transformation is again driven by Kamma. So Kamma Khetta, Vinyana Bija, then the craving, Tanha Sineho. Now when I want to take it, so the Jati Bhavapachaya jati. So whatever I wanted to become is there in the jati. Sanjati. Now what it should take has taken as Vakkanti ya sati. Vakkanti. Then you should get Nama Rupa. So jati, sanjati, Vakkanti, Abhinibhatti. Abhinibhatti is when that shape is seen, when the Gandhabba is seen in gross, then the subtle. Then what happens? Khandanam pathu bhav, ayatanam patilabho. So Khanda, Rupa Khanda, Vedana Khanda, Sanya Khanda, Sankhara Khanda, Vinyana Khanda has already got transformed into that Pesi. Pesi is that slimy thing which we call as a embryo. So blastocyst is the state of the jati. You can search on YouTube for seeing blastocyst. That is jati. What you are seeing, the shapes happening there, is sanjati. Then the vakkanti. Then abhinibhatti. Then kandanam patu bhavo. Ayatanam patilabho. Ayam uchchata ananda jati. So now what happens? This Gandhabba, not aware that it is not Gandhabba, just a chitta. Just a chitta. It's got nothing to do with anything whatsoever. Due to association with karma and its interest in Kabalinka ahara, Hassa ahara, Mano Sanchetana ahara, Vinyana ahara, then gets into this kind of an arrangement where the mental body is covered with some physical thing which looks physical, but there's no physical. It has only 9 indriyas, nothing else. So in the Chula Shunyata Sutta, that's the reason Buddha says, now you have come to the end of it. 6 indriyas cannot be cut with Jiviti Indriya. You can cut the Purisa Indriya, Itti Indriya. Jiviti Indriya along with the other 5 are going to be there. So now the release is, don't take any Indriyas. No Indriyas. Indriyas not being there, you are released. Because they were not yours in the first place. So the Gandhabba is gone. From Gandhabba, Chitta is gone forever. It cannot be found. So Buddha says, just like a lamp, you can't say where this light of the lamp went, whether it went on the eastern direction or a western direction or the northern direction, the southern direction or the top or bottom or wherever. It cannot. Otherwise, the Gandhabba today, 4 of us here, are in the least, we have landed on the ground beyond which there is no ground. So from a Brahma realm of existence, you have come down. How danger it is. Shouldn't we at least find a way to go back? So when he says that as a Sotapanna you have 7 lives, what he's trying to say is that you have to take this dukkha again. But instead of taking millions, it's just 7. And when he says Sakadagami 1, it means you have to take this trouble 1. With the Anagami, you don't have to take this trouble of what? Of getting into womb existence. Utuja Kaya is removed. Chittaja Kaya is there. Kamaja Kaya is there. That Ahara, that's not there. So now you are literally a mental sheath, mental body. Because you are arupa, without rupa. And that's how we all started. Any questions? We're already at 9:30, so we couldn't do this other one, but this is an interesting discussion. So our meditation subject should be this. This is Vipassana. So you do Samatha, take this subject and do for the whole day. You'll really enjoy this. And you get insights. And this is a profound insight than just observing the sensation appearing on the body. Anything more to discuss? Otherwise, we can end. We can't take the other one. What I wanted to do of a continuation of how do we do Akasa, then Vayu, then Tejo, then Apo, then Patavi. In each one of them. With these, we were supposed to look at Kaya Vinyati, Vachi Vinyati, then we have to come to Akasa Dhatu. In each one of these, there's Akasa Dhatu itself, the Dhatu quality is there. Then Lahuta, then Buduta, then Kammanyata. Then once we get into that, there are 5 stages of development. Achaya, Upachaya, Santati, Charata, Anichata. These are the 5 stages of development of anything. So Achaya, Upachaya, Santati, Jarata, and Anichata. Then Kabalinka Aharo. This whole thing is what is Sukhuma. So the contemplation of Sukhuma starts with the Indriyas till Kabalinka Ahara. Ittindriya, Purisa Indriya, Jivita Indriya, Kaya Vinyati, Vachi Vinyati, Lahuta, Uduta, Kammanyata, Upachaya, Santati, Jarata, Anichata, Kabalinka Aharo. In each one we have to do it. That is Patavi, you have to do the same. Apo, you have to do the same. Vayu, Vayu, Tejo, Vayu, Akasa. Then it cuts these 11. Then once we do till here, that is, we do till Olarika Sukhuma, you will be able to discern Hina Panita. Then the final one, Dure Santike. With that, the mind, Chitta, lets go of hold on the Patvi, hold on the Apo, hold on the Tejo, hold on the Vayu, hold on the Akasa. and it gets relief. It was holding on to it. Now it is given up. Makes no sense. So this is the wisdom, panya. So samadhi is established and ends panya. Then once we did this, we can now do it with Vedana Khanda. Then do the same with Sanya Khanda. Then we do the same with Sankhara Khanda. Then Vijnana Khanda. Then when we do that, we can come into detail of Dhatu for meditation. 24/7 meditation on the Dhatu. What is Pathavi Dhatu, Apo Dhatu, Tejo Dhatu, Vayo Dhatu, Akasa Dhatu. And Vijnana Dhatu. 6 Dhatus. Chha Dhaturu. Ayam Purisa Chha Dhaturu. This Purisa is made out of 6 Dhatus. So we see the qualities. And with that, the Chitta forever will not carry the impressions. Then we do the next section, which is be like earth, be like water, be like fire, be like air, be like space. Then the 4 Brahma Viharas, that is Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha. Then coming into the Anicchata, that brings us the environment for Anapanasati, which will give us Arhata Phala Samapatti. By this continuous practice, Sotapanna to Sakadagami, Sakadagami to Anagami, Anagami to Arhat. So with MN62, you will attain Arhat Phala Samapatti in 49 days. At least that's my objective. Any comments, any questions, or shall we end? Done? Okay, then Tarun, Sarnai, Anusha, and good evening to you and good day to others.
Teruvan Saranai and good day to you, Sachin, Vilashi,
Good day.
Yosh.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thanks. Bye.